And so we've come to the realization that
we're not important to him.
We're not.
No.
We're very low on the James's important list.
Yeah. In fact, this was going to be a review of the movies Madame Web and Morbius, but now I think it's just going to be an hour of Trash and James.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. But really quick, these two movies, which we'll get to, And first of all, before we even discuss these movies, I want to say fuck these movies, and today fuck James.
Wow.
Are you with me?
Sure.
There we go.
That jerk.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's out of love, James, but you know what you did.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, man. He does this to us so much.
I know. He's prioritizing family and health or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
And then we'll talk about it later. We'll talk to you later.
James isn't somebody we talk about behind his back. We tell him right to his face.
Yeah, we're gonna say the same shit. I hope he listens to the episode. But we're gonna say the same exact shit to him. And seeing as how we're not gonna spin the wheel, we have James' birthday picks, which I will.
Do we? Are we doing? Is next week his birthday?
Yeah,
picks.
Yeah, because when I talked to him the other day, and he was saying we should, or I think he said it in the group or something. I don't remember. Either way, so we're doing black cop movies.
Okay,
Again, black cop. I'm making sure you're hearing me say cop and not cock. So
wow,
nobody gets confused. Black.
I don't think anybody was confused.
Movies. Just in case.
Now, is Ride or Die the newest Bad Boys?
Yeah.
I didn't watch I've only seen the first two. There was a third one there. I also didn't see.
I think I seen the third one once. I don't remember. You don't have to see the third one though.
Okay.
And yeah, so that'll be fun.
Oh, all right. If he shows up.
No, he better.
It's James's birthday picks, and that son of a bitch won't
even. You know what? James should have to watch these two movies and let us know how. You know what? Hang on a second. I'm gonna say this in our group chat. They go, James, you should watch Madame Web when you get home and Morbius, and let us know on the live next week how you felt about them. In your yeah. Hang on.
Like we talked about, if you miss an episode, doing a punishment movie. I feel like this.
Yes, you know what? I think we need to really implement that. We're going to talk about this on the show because I feel like we need to really, really implement it. I think he should watch these though. I feel like this is punishment enough right here. These two movies, and the reason why I'm saying doubling it up on them is because I feel like, say if you miss it, so say it's like whatever reason, hey, I'm not going to be here next weekend. We got to do a pre-record episode. I'll also watch a terrible movie. You guys pick one movie, but I feel like if you missed the makeup episode as well because of you got to watch two movies. and just because I feel like these two are the perfect ones. They were fucking bad. He got because if he doesn't watch these, it's like he got off easy. You know what I mean? He got off easy. So yeah,
no getting off easy.
All right, I'm gonna tell him in the group chat.
Got to work for it.
This is what you guys get. This is what you guys get on our show, as you guys know. So James, listen, me and Chris just came up with something. Remember how a few months ago we had the rule of if we miss an episode, the one person who misses or whatever, the reason why we're missing, that person have to do watch a bad movie of our choosing. Well, we have another rule that we're making up, and we're recording as we're saying this. And this one is, it's the same rule as the first one, and then we're doubling it up. So if you missed the makeup episode as well, and we're making it up because of whoever it is, me, you, Chris, you got to double it up. So you got to watch two bad movies and let us know how you felt about them in the following episode. So for us, for next week, we're doing your birthday picks, but we want you to watch Morbius and Madame Web and let you know how we feel. Let us know on the live and the people know on the live how you feel about these two films. And we'll just do this from here on out. Because I know I'm going to do it next year for fucking, when I go to Carolina for 2 weeks again. I'm going to have to watch. Yeah. Well, I'll make sure we do our makeup episodes early, but anyway, I got to get back to the show, James.
Yeah, I know. You're
holding us up, James. You're holding us up.
You're not even here, and he's slowing us down.
Yeah, man. Come on, James. But yeah, so Madame Web and Morbius, James, those are for you. Peace. Back to the show.
Oh, fuck. Oh, this was rough.
It was terrible.
Wait, this was doubly rough because I have watched both of these once before. So
I've never seen these.
I watched them back when each one came on streaming because I didn't really want to pay for either of these, honestly. And I'm glad I didn't.
You know what's funny is, so I used to do, like, I was doing trailer reviews here and there on my channel on Horror Research 30, and Morbius was actually a trailer I reviewed, and I believe I enjoyed it and I was excited for it. And I never went to go see the movie. I didn't see the movie until August 16th, 2024.
And it came out in 2022. Yes.
Yeah. So but like when it came out, it was one of those things where it was like people were just saying it was terrible, and if it's not a horror movie, I'm not gonna run to watch it if I hear that it's terrible. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this isn't a horror movie.
No, they use the horror category on it when you look it up on. I think it's on Disney Plus.
I'm sure they did, but this isn't a horror.
By the way, speaking of trailers, I'm probably going to go back and forth between these movies a lot in this episode. So
are cool.
I remember the trailer from. I'll give any I'm just a sucker for superhero movies. I enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why even if I hear something's bad, I kind of still want to check it out myself. But I remember the trailer for Madame Web. And there's a lot in this movie that's terrible. And literally the trailer for the movie shows the other three girls, not Dakota Johnson, in like their spider like costumes and stuff like that. More in the trailer than in the actual fucking movie.
Yeah.
They don't even show these girls in their costumes fighting anybody for more than 30 seconds. Like the trailer was so incredibly misleading for Madame Web. And I noticed when I went to go watch it, because it's on Netflix. Did you watch it on Netflix or something else?
No, I watched it on Netflix too.
So Dakota Johnson is the big name attached to this movie. Mm-hmm. But I went to look it up, and Netflix doesn't show Dakota Johnson on it. They show Sydney Sweeney on the cover for Madame Web. Because she's blowing up all over the place and nobody wants to watch Madame Web. So people see Sydney Sweeney on the cover. They're like, all right, maybe I'll check out what this is. And nobody in this movie is good.
No.
I'm not blaming all the actresses. The writing is bad. The story is bad.
Everything is bad.
Everything. I don't have anything against any of these actresses, but Dakota Johnson is the worst in this movie.
Horrible. I feel like everybody sucked for the most part in this movie. I'll say both movies, but Madame Web, and it was it bothered me because again, I enjoyed both of the trailers, which I usually don't watch, but non-horror, whatever. But anyways, I enjoyed both of the trailers. So I'm like, cool. When I first, and then the movies came out, and you just heard how awful they were and how bad they did. And you're just like, shit, man. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to go see them. And then it was also like part of me was thinking like, maybe they're not that bad. Some people just exaggerate. But then when people that I talk to, like you guys, and in the group chat and shit, and everybody is like unanimous. We're never that. Not never. For movies, we're never unanimous. Like with the whole group of everybody hating specific films, and I'll say Hollywood films. I don't even say stuff like Blood Lake and all that shit. These two were unanimously like, yo, they're fucking terrible.
See, hate's a strong word. It's just, I would just say it's not a good movie.
I hate these movies.
I'm not going to use the word hate. Like, they're not good. But the thing about Madame Web, though, you realize there was like an underlying storyline when they came out and people realized how bad this was, that people are only criticizing it because it's female-led, all-female cast. That I'm like, that makes it hard to criticize the movie. Like, just as a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like Sydney Sweeney. I've been getting into more of her movies. I watched the romantic comedy that she did with Glenn Powell. That was, I can't think of the name of that. And there was another movie I just saw her in that was really good. But at Dakota Johnson, I don't have a problem with her. I haven't really watched anything with her in it I've been super into. I know we watched the 50 Shades series somewhere on the podcast.
Yeah.
But this isn't about it just being, a female-led movie. This was a bad story. This was a bad writing, bad acting movie.
Like these two films right here, or sorry, Madame Web. Madame Web, the hate for me has nothing to do with it being a female-led cast at all. That'd be
weird. I feel like it's weird that we have to state that, but I also feel like it's important.
No, it definitely is. No, it isn't, because there is people that are like that. Like, oh, it's women and it's not gonna be. No, fuck that. That's corny. This movie was just bad. I mean, we watched Sex in the City and reviewed Sex in the City. That's definitely female-led. So we're definitely not against watching female-led anything, especially porn. I had to throw it in there.
Of course.
I had to throw it in there. But like you were saying, though, the writing, the story, like there was nothing about any of these characters that made you care about any of these characters. There was no, like, I feel like the development that they tried to do was just god awful. Everything felt rushed too. Everything just felt like shit was just boom, 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 boom. It was all. I feel like this movie went. This is gonna sound stupid. It felt like it was all over the place. It was all over the place, but going no place all at the same time.
No, I would agree with that. There was something while I was watching it, the more and more it went along, and I just started concentrating on like the scenery and filming technique, and like there's something, it just has the feel like it was cheaply filmed, like a B type action movie. There's something to it even. And the story is all over the place. So Dakota, like, I remember after watching the trailer, looking up Madame Web because I didn't know anything about the character. This movie tries to have the introduction of Peter Parker into the world as like a minor side story, just to try and so desperately connect it to a Spider-Man universe that Sony doesn't even fucking have, to be honest. They keep making one-off movies and just throwing in a Spider-Man reference. That's what Sony does.
You're right.
So Dakota Johnson, for anyone that hasn't seen this, because I'm sure there's people that just won't watch it based on the reviews, Dakota Johnson's mother is in the Amazon looking for this special spider, basically venom with healing properties, because Dakota Johnson, she's pregnant with Dakota Johnson, and the baby has some kind of rare blood disease or something like that, and she thinks spider bite will save her. So there's this tribe of spider people also in the Amazon with all these special powers. So there's just Spider-Man all over the place.
Yep.
That's another thing. I'm like, this is kind of already ridiculous. Her security guard turns on her after she finds the spider, takes the spider, and he's cursed for taking the spider from the jungle. And he constantly throughout the movie foresees his future and the three girls that Dakota Johnson ends up kind of overseeing. The villain's future is them killing him. So he sets out to kill these girls before that ever happens. This story just is ridiculous. He looks like somebody in an evil Spider-Man costume trying to wreak havoc in this.
Yeah.
And like not even a good evil Spider-Man costume.
No, not at all. It was just god awful. Like I don't know how this movie even made it to the theater. I really don't, and I'm not trying to be like an asshole, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know how this wasn't one that just went straight to streaming. I can say that about both.
I don't know, like, some of these movies that directors are making, sure, I can understand everybody starts from, with the best intentions, thinking they have something good, but as it goes along, there's got to be a switch that flips somewhere for these people. They're like, this is not good.
Yeah, this is bad. Don't do this type of shit no more to us.
But I'm like, we're already here, so we have to do it. But I don't know, man. It's rough. Like, so Dakota Johnson is after the whole jungle incident. Of course, the security guard ends up killing Dakota Johnson's mother. She's born over the Amazon tribe. spider tribe.
Raises her, takes care of
help
her.
birth her. There's a reference to her being in foster care at some point after that. By the way, she's born in Peru. Somehow she gets back to the States.
Yep.
There's just a reference of foster care. They fast forward 25 years later. She's a paramedic with Uncle Ben, Peter Parker's uncle, is her partner.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you meet Peter Parker's mom, who's pregnant with Peter. This is their cheap ploy to bring in Spider-Man fans and connect that.
It was just nasty. It was just nasty.
It's all over the like they want to build a universe Sony has, and it's like they purposely like just fucking tank it with each of these movies.
I feel like it's just like almost like throwing it in Marvel's face. Like, listen, we have these characters that you want, and
that's an interesting ploy. Maybe they're doing this stuff on purpose just to piss off Marvel.
It really seems like it because it's just like, hey, we're just gonna we
own these characters.
Think about it.
We're just gonna make bad movies with them.
And maybe I'm not gonna say they're intentionally making them bad, but it's more so like we're not gonna bust our ass to make these movies either. Like we have other priorities, but we'll throw some of these out there. And it just feels like that, man, because this shit is just like diarrhea shit of a movie. It really is. It's like it's like going to buy a puzzle, right? And you open up the puzzle box and it's all wrong, all the wrong pieces for that fucking puzzle that's on the box.
And like, so Dakota Johnson, like, after they flash to her being a paramedic, she's driving an ambulance with what's the actor's name? It's not Adam. Is it Adam Scott? Is that his actual name?
I gotta double check. I'm not sure.
Because I really like him.
He was in Step Brothers, right?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's an awesome actor.
Yeah, you were right, Adam Scott.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I couldn't think if that was a character name or his actual name. He actually is not bad in this. He plays the role fairly fine for what it is.
Yeah.
But like they have the foreshadowing while she's driving the ambulance, and her and Adam Scott are rushing an emergency to the hospital where she kind of crosses paths with all three of these girls. Was it the woman that they're saving is like her stepmom or something? The Sydney Sweeney stepmom. They have the girl on the skateboard that jumps in front of the ambulance. They almost hits.
Yeah, and she flicks her off.
Yeah. Oh, and the other girl is the illegal immigrant.
No, she's legal.
Well, no, she's legal. No, she was born there. Her father got deported.
Her father got deported,
and she's living. Yeah, and lives in Dakota Johnson's building. So there's the foreshadowing, and then she starts having visions, not knowing why
what's going on. Yep.
That connects her to these girls. She sees them getting murdered on this train.
So she gets them off the train. And that's when shit gets like, it's just like, what the fuck? Because she gets off she gets them off the train or whatever. And then the one girl yells, that she's getting kidnapped, this, that, and the third. Cops are slow as shit. Just in case she was. By the time, and like that whole fucking train scene was just like, why? For what?
There's nothing about this movie that really works.
No.
Oh, by the way, I also noticed so she's sitting on the train. These girls are coming on one by one. None of them know each other, of course. And when you see Ezekiel is the name of the villain. He starts walking through the train cars coming up, and she sees it. He's not wearing shoes, like he's barefoot. And I don't know why. It doesn't seem like there's a reason. It's not like he needs to be barefoot to put on his fake spider costume that it looks like he got from a Halloween discount store.
Maybe he was in the middle of changing. That's the first thing he took off was his socks and shoes.
And what's another thing that I didn't realize the first time I watched this is, so her her mom died. Dakota Johnson's mom dies in childbirth, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's basically devoted maybe her remaining years, if not more, to researching the spider in the Amazon, to looking for a cure for her baby. Mm-hmm. So she has notebooks, she has notes. Dakota Johnson has all this stuff. She pulls it out from under the bed when she's trying to get answers later on in the movie. Yeah. You're telling me she's had this book for 25 years and she hasn't reread this thing over and over again to the point where she has it memorized or something like that? I'm like, she's only now. It's like she's only now opening this for the first time and realizing her mom researched spiders.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Damn, man. This movie fucking sucks. There's not much more I can say about this movie. It was terrible. It just.
And the fucking girls, man. They played. I feel like they were just told the personality of the type of character they were supposed to be, and they just went extreme with it.
Yeah, I felt that. I definitely felt that.
When Dakota Johnson leaves them in the woods and says, "Just stay there," you clearly know they're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the diner.
Every movie,
like it's every movie. Like, you can't be seen. You understand that someone's coming to kill you now.
Which, the thing that I hate about that's so many different movies is because, like, in reality, you're like, yo, especially if it's something like with this movie, you're gonna try to stay hidden,
stay off the map.
But at the same time, though, like she's just like, all right, I know there's this crazy killer after you, but I'll be back in a few hours. We're hungry. I'll be back in a few hours.
Like, so it would be one thing if one of them like went into the diner and ordered a bunch of food to go and like kept up their hoodie. They go in there, they see a table full of guys, they're dancing on the table. Like, seriously?
Yeah, why? That didn't even make sense. They didn't have to put that in there. And the only reason why they put that in there was just to make the fucking guy show up, Ezekiel show up at that, just for that to happen. You could have just had him just pop in there while they're eating.
And it's still super confusing how Dakota Johnson is using this power. Like, is she seeing the future? Is she there? Is she traveling back in time? Because she sees, well, she of course sees these girls get murdered on the train in her visions.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows when Ezekiel is coming down, that's the guy that's coming to kill them, and he tries to get them off the train. She sees these girls getting murdered at the diner when she goes back to the woods and they're not there. Drive with the stolen taxi. And then, so now she drives right into the diner and just fucking slams Ezekiel.
Well, that was after the first time when she went there and failed. When she drove there, ran inside trying to get the girls to go inside, and they're taking. First of all, they're taking their sweet ass time until.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she gets there the first time and ends up dying too, with getting stabbed.
Yep. So they all got killed that time. Then
and somehow that like resets. I'm like, it doesn't make fucking sense.
Reset her back into the woods. Then she drives a taxi back out there and fucking. At some point, she steals a fucking ambulance.
Oh, that's later on in the movie.
No, I know. I'm just... it just hit me because she was driving.
Yeah, so, like, her power doesn't make sense. How they're having her use it or anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know where in time she is. Is she seeing visions? Is she living it and somehow time traveling backwards? It doesn't make any sense. Where the fuck was I just... Oh. So we totally forgot. After she gets the girls off the train, she's basically reported as having kidnapped these girls. So she's a fugitive, right? All over the radio, because as she hears it on the radio, you think it would be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
She eventually realizes, after she goes back and reads her mom's journal and the spiders, that she needs to go to Peru. How the fuck does she get out of the country and to Peru if she's a fugitive?
That's a great question.
Seriously.
Easily got out too. Like,
easily.
There was no even I mean, they were looking for her, but they weren't really like looking for her. You had the one guy call the cops. The phone was tapped, so of course that's how they find, the Spider-Man, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Ezekiel finds her with his partner. or his partner taps. You know what I'm trying to say. Taps in and finds her. Whatever. And I'm like, okay, so you had one guy call the police on her. Out of all the people that seen her with these girls, one person called the police.
So yeah, she leaves the girls with Ben Parker, Uncle Ben, Adam Scott. They're staying at her house. That's fine. Yeah, and then next thing she's in Peru. You like, and Ezekiel is literally has access to the NSA and every camera that has ever existed, looking for these girls. So not only does Dakota Johnson get out of the country to Peru easily, they don't care. She's no way she avoided every single camera that he's not looking for her too now at this point.
It's oh my
god.
They didn't try for this. They didn't try with this movie.
No,
it seems like they didn't fucking try. And don't do this again, Sony. Don't do this again. You don't need to.
We haven't even gotten to the final fight yet. The girls are staying with Adam Scott, who's staying with is it his sister-in-law or cousin sister? Peter Parker's mom. He's staying with pregnant Peter Parker's
mom. Oh, that's his sister because it's Uncle Ben.
Yeah. Her water breaks, so he has to take her to the hospital. For some reason, all the girls go with him. So they leave the house. Why? Why would you leave the house? Why would they not just stay there and out of sight? Because that's how Ezekiel finds them. The camera catches one of their faces.
I don't know, man. It makes no sense. Well, you had that, and also you had the 911 call from the. Remember when the guy he was on the way to the hospital and shit? So I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's when Dakota Johnson's back, gets to the house, no one's there. She steals the ambulance because they had called an ambulance, but realized it wasn't going to be there in time. And that's where she's chasing them to some big intersection where she foresees Ezekiel blowing up the car with everybody in it. And she drives the fucking ambulance through some parking garage and just fucking through a wall in the air and takes out Ezekiel.
Doesn't hit any car or anything.
Nope. No, like Ezekiel literally, if you're jumps up, almost like it's easier for her to hit him with the ambulance.
Yes. It was so fucking stupid. It was so fucking stupid. I'm like, how? How does this happen? And then she just gets right up. Well, no, yeah, because then after that, don't they go up on the building and fight and all this other shit, and she ends up in the water again?
That's why. Okay, so all the girls jump in the ambulance. They're just driving somewhere. She calls. No, they're driving to that fireworks warehouse where there was the fire early in the movie.
Yeah.
And she calls in an airlift to try to get the girls out of there. Ezekiel is chasing them. Oh, she tells the one girl to warm up like the electroshock pads and to hit the ceiling at the right time.
Yep. That was I remember that now. Yeah.
I mean, that was an interesting that would have been a neat scene.
Done better and done right.
Yeah. Then the ambulance dies. That's when they call in the airlift. They go into the fireworks warehouse. Ezekiel chases them there. Their shit's exploding all over the place.
He knocks the helicopter out the air somehow. Shoots something at it. And just, oh my god! Fuck
I don't know. All the girls are eventually hanging, about to die. He's like, you can't save them all, and then she realizes how to be in more than one place at once and saves them all.
Yep. Because she was told that earlier in the movie, by the way. At some
when
point.
She went to Peru, yes, for her answers. Sorry, we skipped a spot. I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, man. This is the way that this movie was all shoddy and shitty together. You'll understand why.
The foreshadowing where Dakota Johnson as the paramedic teaches the three girls how to do CPR earlier in the movie.
Yep, and then
Dakota Johnson, they have
not
to do
only
it on
that,
her.
But the whole, if you need a break, you just need to come and do it right behind her. Same exact pressure, same exact speed, and whatever, same exact everything. And that, of course, you knew it was going to happen. Did you cry, Chris? He cried. He's crying now. So he's rubbing his eye, wiping a tear out because he was so upset because he thought Dakota Johnson's character passed away. Then he thought it was a beautiful moment.
It was, bites my eyes and my penis. See? It's weird. Climaxing. That's called climaxing.
Climaxing. Oh fuck!
Man. I learned that from Scrubs.
I haven't seen that in so long. I need to go back and watch that.
There's nothing wrong with climaxing.
Such a great show.
Wow,
nothing great about this movie.
No, she gets hit by the firework in the water. That's how she loses her eyesight.
Oh, that's right.
After that, when the girls save her, then there's the cheesy ass scene to end the movie where she's like in the wheelchair, blind.
In the house. Well, before no. Before that, when she's in the hospital, and again, nobody questions anything about this. The nurse comes in. Oh, family only. Is this immediate family only? Oh, this is immediate family. Or whose are they?
They're all mine. Yeah.
I'm like, what the? How?
I forgot. There's one more Spider-Man reference. I think it's while she's still in. No, while she's still in the hospital.
Yes.
They talk about Mary. I think is Peter Parker's mom's name. Has the baby. Ben's loving being an uncle. Something about it's some hint that she knows he's going to become Spider-Man.
Well, no. What
she
happens,
says something. She says something.
What happens is I think it's one of the girls that said, somebody said something about her, Mary, Mary excited, being a parent, this, that, and the third. Or no, about Uncle, oh yeah, he's excited to be an uncle. Oh yeah, because it's so easy. There's no responsibility. And then that's what he thinks is what she says, or some shit like that.
Yeah, some hint that she knows he's going to be Spider-Man,
or that he's gonna. Well, that no, not even.
Or that. Oh yeah, or that.
That Mary's that his mom's gonna die, or whatever, yeah. And then that, yeah. So. They did that, and then they did the whole house scene where she's talking about how she could see better than she can, even though she was blind. She could see better than she ever could.
Yeah, okay.
And then, yeah, it pretty much went off. They did some girl stuff that they always do, and them jumping around, happy shit.
At best, I'm giving this movie a 1.
I'm giving this movie a 0. This movie sucked. I'm not even like there's no reason to be sweet about it. This movie was bad.
It's not good.
It was bad. It was bad.
Bad acting, bad writing, bad decisions all around.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the actors specifically.
Nope.
It is the situation they're in.
That's right.
That's how I describe it.
He's right. It's something I can guarantee I'll never watch again.
I had to watch it twice now. That was 2 times. Turns out that was 2 times too many.
Yeah, once was enough for me. And just as a reminder, people, next week, James's B-Day picks. A little late, but hey. Bad Boys Ride or Die, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. And now on to Morbius. Woo, Morbius.
Listen, I watched Madame Web first, so I'm not going to lie. Morbius was almost a delight after that, and not by much.
Ooh, in my opinion. You want to start with your review really quick? Or do you have
I'm not saying it was good or I enjoyed it. But if I'm picking the better of these 2 movies, for me, it was by far Morbius.
Shit, I put him on a same damn level, man.
I'll give Morbius a 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
I gave them both 0s. Because they were just fucking bad.
Like, are there still people that like Jared Leto? Because I have never met him. If they're
I thought he was your favorite actor. I could have sworn. Now, listen, I could be mistaken, but I could have sworn you were like, listen, if I can have any actor play Morbius, it's definitely Jared Leto.
I did say that over and over again.
See?
Gotta be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, that would be definitely. If someone really wished for that, thanks, I guess.
Like, I I've never met anybody that was excited to see something because Jared Leto was in it.
That's fair. I've never asked anybody though either. But that is fair.
I mean, I don't hate him.
Mm-mm.
I don't like him.
You don't think he's just like one of those ones who's just there.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. And the stories you hear about him every once in a while that turn up make him look like a douchebag.
So this is fucking acting.
Also, I'd like, don't forget he's a musician. He had 30 Seconds to Mars, if you've heard any of their music. Rock band. I don't know. He's just a weird dude.
Yeah.
But again, Morbius wasn't a character I knew a lot about before this movie came out. Morbius was 2022.
Same here. I mean, just from watching like the Spider-Man cartoons and shit like that, where he was in a few episodes, but other than that, I didn't know much about him.
The other main character in this is an actor by the name of Matt Smith. He's in House of the Dragon now. I want to say I don't know what the rest of his acting resume is. He's a weird looking dude to me too, but I like him. Like he's good in House of the Dragon. So, what's the Morbius story? He was born with a rare blood disease.
Yeah, him and his friend had it.
Yeah. He grew up in like this hospital, institution's not the right word, but in some kind of constant 24-hour medical care because of this blood disease. He's got to get like blood transfusion 3 times a day.
Yeah.
He meets a new friend who's named Lucian, but he calls him Milo because he just keeps naming the kids next to him Milo because they die. And he doesn't have to learn their new name. But they live, and he goes through his adult life, grows up swearing to find a cure for their disease. And apparently Milo, because they never actually talk about this, maybe it's indicates, so there's the scene where as a kid he's in the hospital, Lucian, whatever you want, I'm just going to keep calling him Milo.
Yeah, Milo's fine.
He gets out of a car, he's on crutches. I assume they're trying to indicate that the family is rich. He comes from a rich family because not once in this movie, he's the benefactor for Jared Leto, for Morbius, and like his lab and shit, all these experiments. And they never say where the fuck did the money come from? Like, how is he the benefactor? How is he rich? There's no indication that he was anything but yeah. Like he's a sick kid in a hospital bed. Like they don't indicate as he gets older, they have him there as the adult. He's lived because the doctor had stayed with him and stuff like that. It's in this fancy ass apartment. Like, did he have a job of some kind?
Yeah, they don't.
Was like, there's no
that information.
Like he can captain some kind of tanker with some sketchy crew to take Jared Leto out in international waters to do this experiment. Like, what the fuck? No explanation. Not even a single reference as to coming for money or anything like that.
Nothing. They just, again, it's one of those things. Oh shit, people are gonna want to see Madame Web, cool. People want to see that. They like Spider-Man the second and third, or Morbius. They like Spider-Man and whatever else Morbius was in. That's where I met him from.
See, I thought at least Morbius, when I enjoyed the vampire fighting scenes.
I didn't even like that.
Really? I didn't think they were that bad. Them flying through the air when it slowed down. Just the way they kind of portrayed the fighting scenes with him and Matt Smith.
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I felt like they used that. Actually, they used it in both movies a lot. Like the slow down with all the visuals and like the lines and shit going around them. I feel like for both of these movies, they relied on that more than they relied on like an actual good story.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And but
they meant for that to be a big draw.
But the thing was, it wasn't that great. Like it would have been awesome around a dope story, but with a shitty story and decent CGI visuals, it's like what the fuck is this?
It was, again, Madame Web set a very low bar.
Sure.
So it could have been the fact that I watched this right after Madame Web. that may have skewed
my
that's opinion fair. A little bit.
That's fair.
But so he grows up sick. He creates artificial blood, which is a neat idea. All right, I can believe that. But he's secretly trying to mix human DNA and vampire bat DNA because vampire bats can consume blood, I guess. Or somehow it will help his rare blood condition.
And it does, and then he turns into a damn
and it turns him into a vampire type of vampire. Which I don't understand necessarily why. So he's talking to Matt Smith or Milo on a park bench, explaining that he thinks he may have found he has the possibility for a cure that he wants to test. And he's like, I got to do it in international waters. Like, why?
Because it's probably some illegal shit that they wouldn't allow in the States. I'm assuming one of those type of things that they have to throw in a movie.
There's no real reason. Well, yes, he goes crazy and
he does
murders everyone on the boat.
I mean, that's a good enough reason right there. Like, there's no real reason.
It's not like you could foresee that was going to happen.
True. I think it's more so of just not getting caught. Like, if you're in international waters, the U.S. can't fuck with you, then they're not going to get. And these people over here, they're not going to give a shit because you're just minding your business. That's what I'm assuming, because that's what all these type of movies make it seem like. Like, oh, let's just go into international water.
Like that's a cure for everything. That's like the be all end all to not.
I'm just like, wait a minute,
get caught for anything. International, which apparently is only 12 or 13 miles off the coast of Long Island.
That's amazing.
So keep that in mind. We do Popcorn and Pints International Waters Edition.
There we go. But I'll just have to change my green screen. It's hilarious.
But so he turns himself into the vampire. He saves like 2 vials of the serum that he used. Milo steals one, becomes the other an evil vampire. Doesn't care about killing people and sucking blood. That's another thing about this and I don't know if I thought about this last night or this morning after at some point. So Morbius goes through this movie after he kills those people. When he first becomes a vampire, sucks their blood. He's like, this can't ever happen again. And then he goes through the rest of the movie, like on that, trying to take the moral high ground of he can't drink real blood or kill these people. So the credit scene in this, there's the big fight at the end where he ends up killing Milo. There's a credit scene. Nothing in this movie to indicate that he's like an evil villain or has that in his nature, especially after he spent an hour and a half talking about how he doesn't want to kill people to suck their blood.
The
after credit scene where Michael Keaton, what's the villain's name?
Vulture, right?
The Vulture comes up in his Vulture gear to meet Jared Leto out in the desert somewhere, saying, I don't know how I got here. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. We should team up. And it's like they just flipped the switch. They're like, okay, yeah, you're a villain now. He's like, yeah, that sounds interesting. And it looks like he's out to go after Spider-Man. And he's all for teaming up with a villain and stuff like that. I'm like, what? It doesn't make sense.
It does not. It does. Again, man, they're just throwing shit in there just to get people. Oh, shit, now they're going to have these guys in Spider-Man. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not going to happen, people. It's not going to fucking happen.
But, I mean, I was mildly entertained with the fight in the subway when they're first fighting. I don't know. It just vampire fight sounds cool, but it's not that great. When he takes over the counterfeiting lab, I thought that was kind of funny because he breaks the guy's hand.
Yeah, it's just, man, I'm gonna be honest. I hated both of these movies. I really did. Just they weren't good, man. And I wish they were.
I would not recommend either of these to anybody.
I'll still say watch at your own risk. I'll never tell you not to watch a movie. That's on you if you want to watch these. I'm never gonna watch these again.
The last thing that happens is Milo kills Martine. You think Jared Leto sucks out all her blood supposedly to get the strength to fight Milo, and then right before they go to the credits, Martine wakes up like on the ceiling. Did you notice?
Mm-hmm. And again, why, how, what the fuck? It just doing shit just to do shit. I would like to talk to people who really enjoyed these two movies, or at least if you guys did enjoy these movies, drop it in the comments. If you like them or hate them, let us know how you feel, but especially if you love them, and let us know why.
Yeah.
And that's not even to say you're stupid or whatever, because you like what you like and you hate what you hate. So it's not even that kind of shit. But yeah, these two movies sucked. And can't wait to see what James feels about these two movies and his review.
Punishment.
But we're gonna get on out of here, people. Make sure you guys check out Popcorn Pints every Saturday, 9:00 Eastern time. We'll be live. This one is a pre-recorded episode. Pre-recorded. I know I'm saying it at the end, but it's pre-recorded. So if you're dropping the comments during the live portion of it, the live portion, and we're not responding, we're not there.
That means we don't like you.
Spirit. Don't listen to him. We love you. But we're gonna get on out of here. Thanks for popping.